Good morning, everyone. Let's start by taking a breath and just close your eyes for a minute and just notice your inhale. The breath that is full of prana, full of life force. When you breathe it in, it literally feeds all the cells of your body. It calms your mind. That breath is freely given. It is there for you. So with your next inhale, just feel the gratitude for that breath. And then with your exhale, give back to the world. Just infuse the exhale with love. And again, when you breathe in, just feel the gratitude for this gift that has been given. And with the exhale, give back. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. So much has been given to us. So much that we take for granted. You know, I have heard this contemplation about the breath and its richness, and I still tend to forget, right? We wake up in the morning, we breathe. Yes, it should be like that. Meister Eckhart says, thank you is the only prayer we need. Oprah Winfrey has said, and I'm paraphrasing, she says, yeah, people say to me, it is easy for you to be grateful because you have so much. But she says, no, I have so much because I've been grateful. When I think about that, I think we can approach that no matter what Oprah Winfrey meant or not, but from our own point of view, we can approach that in two ways, right? We can say like, oh, wow, look at Oprah Winfrey. She has so much and she says she got so much because she was grateful. Ha! So all I have to do is be grateful. And there's plenty of writings out there and techniques on how to be grateful and what to do. And, you know, but it's like, so when I'm grateful, then I will get a lot. When we have that attitude, we have an attitude of grasping. We have a sense of lack, right? And it's like, oh, if I just do this, then I will get more. It becomes a transactional, performative practice, right? And I don't think that that's how it works. Now, another approach we can take, and Eric Butterworth, you know, talks about that. He says in the Bible, it says, be grateful in all things. Sometimes it's translated as be grateful for all things, he says, but when you go back to the original writing, it's really be grateful in all things. And what does that mean? He says, when we're grateful in all things, when we find a penny on the street, it's not just like, oh, we have a penny and we should be grateful for it, and that's all we get. He says, no, it's the awareness that this penny is an expression of the divine abundance. And wherever this penny came from, there is more and it is available to us. That is being grateful in all things. I want to give an example. I just went to, a few weeks ago, I went to visit my family in the Netherlands, and I stayed with my sister. And my sister is an amazing creative person who sews, knits, crochets, all kinds of things. And at one point she was making a little slug, and I asked her to make one for me. And I love it, you know, I love the colors. I just think it's so cute. So it travels with me. But when I look at this, it represents something. It's not just the little slug in itself, but what it represents to me is the time I spent with my sister, my brother-in-law, my family, and my friends, and how welcoming they were, and how generous they were, and how good I felt, and how much love the is in my heart for them and how loved I felt. That is this little slug. That is what it represents. So that penny that we find on the ground, that represents so much more. So when I say, oh, I am so grateful for this little slug that travels with me in my car, I am truly grateful for all that has been given. And my heart opens up and I can feel the light in my own being. And I become an uplifting presence in the world. And I open myself up for more to come, right? So when Oprah Winfrey says, I have so much because I've been grateful or I am grateful, she recognizes that divine presence that is in our lives. And like what we just did, with taking a breath and just being grateful for that. Being grateful for the life force that is in the breath and feeds our bodies, being grateful for our body instead of, being annoyed by it because it's speaking to us in a way that we don't particularly want it to speak to us. We're here. Having a body, being in a body is a precious gift in and all of itself, right? When I heard the theme for this month, the first thing that came up was actually a parable that Jesus told, the parable of the talents. And it's really interesting, because the parable goes like this. There was a man who was going to take a journey for a long time, and he called 3 of his servants. And what it says in the Bible, he gave them bags of silver according to their abilities. And so the first servant got 5 bags of silver, the second one got 2 bags of silver, and the last one got 1 bag of silver. And he instructed them to take good care of it, and that was it. And he went on his journey. When he came back, he asked the servants what they did with the silver. And the first said, I invested it and I made another 5 bags of silver. So now I have 10 bags of silver. And the man was very pleased. And the second servant had done the same thing with the 2 bags of silver. But then the third servant said, no, I was so afraid that I would lose the money that I buried it. And I just got it back. So here you got your money back. And the man was very displeased. And he said, well, if you were so afraid, at least you could have put it in the bank so it would make some interest. Right? And that servant was dismissed. Now, what this represents is really the gifts that we have been given. We all have been given gifts. And how do we treat it? Are we stingy with it? Are we just tight with it? Are we afraid to express it? Are we afraid to let it grow and for self-development? Or do we give it freely? And do we honor it and respect it and are happy with expressing it? I was thinking about that in my own life because years ago, I became a bookkeeper and somebody had suggested it to me. It's like, hey, you might want to start your own business and bookkeeping, you might really like doing that. And when I started looking into it, it actually came to me so easily that I figured I couldn't get a job because everybody knew how to do this. Only to find out that that wasn't the case. And even if people knew how to do it, they didn't particularly want to do it, So, but it came to me so easily that now looking back, it's like more than 20 years later, looking back, I go over time, I don't feel like I've been really honoring the gift I'd been given. That was a divine gift I had been given. In a week's time, I had a business set up for bookkeeping and I understood what I was doing and I was serving people. That was amazing. But that was not necessarily just of my own doing. It had to do with the talent that I had been given. And also the talent of being able to talk with people about finances in a way they understood. So I really have been contemplating that over the last few weeks. It's like, what did I do with the bags of silver I received? Did I really honor it? Did I really respect it? Did I really give thanks for it? Or do I go like, haha, I saw that. I think there's a message there for you, Kablaya. It is like, it's like, and what does it mean to respect it? How do I show up? When I start work in the morning, can I give thanks for the talents I have? Not from an egoic point of view, not from a point of view, it's like, oh, look at me, but truly coming from gratitude. It's like, oh, divine consciousness is expressing through me as a bookkeeper. And when I do that, then I step into the richness of it. Then I expand. And then I serve people better. Because I can say it's like it's just numbers, but it's not true. With every interaction, the vibration of what I put into it is going to matter. So can I come from gratitude in what I have been given? In the parable of the talents, it's recognizing the talents as giving thanks for it, but then it's also about putting it into practice. What do I do with it? Do I embody the gratitude, or is it just a mental exercise? When we are in this place of gratitude, it's not just limited to ourselves. What is also really important is like we're all connected. If there's only one divine consciousness, then we're all connected. There's no other way about it, really. Like it or not, correct, right? Because sometimes we go like, I don't particularly want to be connected with that person. But the truth is we are. Yeah, thank you for that. I appreciate that. But it's also, so what is our attitude to other people when they prosper? Are we jealous? Do we feel envious? Is it like, why them and not me? B.K.S. Iyengar, was an amazing Iyengar yoga teacher. He said one of his teachings was, it's like when another person has good fortune, be glad for them. He said it's like when somebody watches the sunset and they're delighted by it, you're not going to envy them. Envying them or being jealous of them is not going to do anything good for you or for the other person. The sunset is not diminished by somebody enjoying it. The sunset is there for you as well. So instead of being envious of the other person, of what they have, turn to the divine abundance that is there for you. Look at the sunset as well and delight in it. Recognize that somebody else's joy is also your joy because you are connected. And again, it's not like, oh, this person can have it and therefore I cannot. That's not true. There's infinite joy in the world. There's infinite peace in the world, no matter how it looks like. It's within ourselves. So it's the same as what Eric Butterworth said when he says, like, you find a penny and you realize that that's an expression of abundance, of divine consciousness. When I see joy in somebody's face, it's like, oh, divine consciousness is coming through as joy. How delightful. And that is available to me as well. It also can be, it's like when I feel the joy, I know that that's available to you as well. So we are in community and we're sharing. Iyengar says, if you're happy, pleasant, and unselfish in your behavior toward others, obstacles will shrink. If you're jealous, judgmental, or resentful, obstacles will grow. To me, what that really means is like when I'm happy for others, I open myself up to the abundance that is available, to the well-being that is available. When I'm jealous, then I contract and I really block my own experience of the divine. Right? Again, this is not just a mental exercise. We need to be aware of how it sits in our bodies. We need to listen to our bodies. We need to look at what action we take. We need to practice. I was thinking about it. It's like, preparing a talk is really fun because I feel like I get to re-practice a lot of things. And I was thinking about, I had this practice for a long time. I would wake up in the morning and think about 10 things I was grateful for. And it was just a really easy thing for me to do and to start the day in a good way. And the 10 things didn't have to be different things. I could be grateful for the same things every morning if I wanted to. And it was really a very low pressure exercise for me. And it became so ingrained that literally when I would wake up, it would just start in my mind. And one of the things was like, I'm grateful that I get to sleep in a bed. And then so I was thinking about that this week. I was thinking about that practice and I go like, yeah, but how did I treat my bed? And how can I honor my bed? If I'm grateful that I have a bed to sleep in, do I make it up in the morning? Do I, respect how it looks? Do I wash the sheets on a regular basis? When I'm grateful for my work, do I make sure that my desk is clean or organized? Do I honor and respect it? When I'm truly happy for somebody, can I express that? And then when I feel that twinge within me, because it's easy to say, right? Don't be envious or jealous, but I don't say that I'm always there. But when I notice that, can I just take a breath and not project it onto somebody else? Can I just notice oh, I'm feeling a little off, or I feel disconnected? So what can I do now to support myself? Right? So we need to embody gratitude. So what I would like you to do right now is, again, close your eyes. Let's do a little exercise. Now I would like you to bring to mind one gift that is entrusted to you. What has been given to you? What might come easily? Think about a skill, or it can be a relationship. It can be your compassion, maybe your voice, having a body, an opportunity. Just think of one thing and then hold it very gently in your heart. And now ask yourself silently, how may I use this gift with more love, more courage, more gratitude? How may I use this gift with more love, more courage, and more gratitude? And as you hold it gently again, let your breath be your prayer. As you inhale, you receive life. And as you exhale, you return it with love. As we breathe in, we give thanks for the breath. As we exhale, we give it back to life. And when you're ready, open your eyes. So, may the practice of gratitude open you up to the infinite abundance that is available. And may it just increase the light that shines in your heart. And so it is.